If you've been watching this show, you know that I love to explore the unloved brands, the ones that don't get press on YouTube, the ones that we don't necessarily see in the back of tour players' bags, but that perform just as well as the big four. Today, we're looking at another one of those brands, one that I've really loved here. They are pushing the envelope in terms of technology, and it is the Ben Hogan brand, and we've got the Fort Worth muscle backs on today's video. This is gonna be an iron for the better ball strikers out there, but we're gonna put it to the test. Playing the silver tees here at Carrollwood, the forward set of tees. We're gonna hit irons only, 6 holes of golf with an over-under of +1. That will be our bellwether if we play good golf. And we'll be ranking these irons as we always do on our 5 categories: distance, forgiveness, workability, aesthetics, and of course, value. Again, these are value packed at just about $900 for a 5-through pitching wedge set, and just under $1,000 if you add the 4-iron in. You've got a lot of value in these with some incredible next level technology hiding under the hood that we've never seen from Ben Hogan before. Let's take a closer look. All right, here's your closer look at the Fort Worth muscle backs. I'll tell you what, it's a very, very interesting design here. Now, what's hiding beneath the surface is the most interesting. There's actually ceramic built into this forging. It's co-forged into the steel. I have never seen another iron like that. Now, this ceramic technology to me is maybe the most interesting thing about these irons and why I really wanted to test them. There's so much that goes into it. I'm just literally going to read you what the website says. It says, the Fort Worth range incorporates the breakthrough ceramic matrix composite technology. This proprietary technology is precisely positioned and co-forged in each club, allowing us to manipulate the center of gravity for an optimal launch on each club. So absolutely fascinating. And basically, you know, to break that down into layman's terms, they have progressively weighted these irons so that at the 4, 5, 6 irons, clubs that generally come off the club face lower, they positioned that mass lower so you get more height. And then when you get into the 8, 9 pitching wedge in this set, that weight moves up with the ceramic, and that's going to give you a more penetrating ball flight so it doesn't balloon on you. So very, very interesting. This is absolutely a player's iron, as you can see from address. It has got a very thin top line. Take a look at the 4-iron here, it's even thinner. While it's not a butter knife, it's not far off either. If you were to have a 2-iron or something like that, it would be something, I'll tell you what. Very classic for Hogan irons. If you've played Hogan irons in the past, this is going to look very similar at address. Now, this sole is a special one as well. It's called a V sole. You've got relief there towards the front of this club, and then it tapers there towards the back. So it basically builds a little V there. And that's gonna help cut through the turf, get through rough, and get you out of the tight spots. That's what a club like this is all about. In terms of shaft, I've got it with the KBS Tour 120. I've played all the Hogans this year with that shaft. And you've got a custom Ben Hogan grip here, which has got some nice tackiness, some nice stickiness to it. And I've opted for a medium-sized grip. You've got a number of options for shafts and grips on the website. So these are not your stock standard irons that we see from other direct-to-consumer brands. This has some serious R&D behind it, just like the entire line of irons from Hogan. This is pushing the boundaries. Now it's time to see if all that technology pays off. Let's hit the first tee. All right, first hole here. I've got 5-iron in hand. We're gonna see if we can basically favor the left side of this fairway. But this is the first shot of the day. Let's see how it feels. I struck it decently. We are left side of the fairway, so we got that down pat. Might have actually rolled into the first cut there, but pretty much on line of where I wanted it to be. Felt good coming off the face. I did probably catch it maybe a groove low there, so we'll continue to test that in terms of feel, but all in all, good start. All right, so I hit that 213 yards. I do have a little wind behind me, but distance-wise, for a 5-iron, that's excellent. I've got 125 to this pin that's cut a little on the right side. I've got to be accurate because there's a ton of water here on the right. I cannot possibly be in. We're gonna aim at the flagstick, hope it draws a little bit. If it does that, we'll be middle of the green. I took a way more aggressive line than I wanted to. And that got a ton of spin on the green. I could literally see it hit, check, and just zip back. So I was even in the rough there a couple of inches, so we didn't have the best spin we could have possibly had. And that was exceptional once it hit the green. We'll look at the pitch mark here, but good shot. All right, so this is my pitch mark right here. And like I said, it took one little skip and then it ripped back. That was extreme. And again, just not the type of spin that I normally put on the ball. I can't wait to see it down to the fairway, to be quite honest with you. So I've got, 30 feet or so heading uphill here. Let's see if we can start the day right with a birdie. That would be really nice. Pretty good speed, I think. Come on. Oh, I'll take the tap in par. The next hole is a par 5. And if we can hit that 4-iron a long way, maybe we got a chance of getting home in 2. Let's find out.
Now, before we go to the next hole, I want to give a massive shout out to today's sponsor, HackMotion. Many of you have been asking where all my extra distance has been coming from, and the answer is this little device that fits on your wrist and helps measure your wrist angle to help you develop maximum power. For the last 18 months, it's literally been the only swing trainer I use. HackMotion has helped me dial in and develop more lag in my shot, and has added 10 to 15 yards per club that was literally hiding under my nose. Lately, I've been practicing their new casting drill, which can help you immensely if you're struggling with distance, missing shots right, and flipping your wrists. There's a quick video tutorial to watch, and then you simply follow along while HackMotion guides your wrist angle throughout the swing. With the app paired to the sensor, you'll get a real-time representation of where your wrists and arms need to be during the entirety of the swing. There's haptic and audible feedback to help train your brain as you go through the process, which is super helpful. When I'm using it, I really like to slow down my swing. The app recommends 10 practice swings to dial it in, but you can take as many as you want to build the muscle memory. The feel I'm trying to get here is having my hands drop naturally into the slot with the butt of the club leading rather than trying to pull down on the club and forcing it. Once I think I've mastered it, I move on to taking full shots with it. The HackMotion once again tracks each of my swings and lets me know if my wrist angles are in range, at the top, and at contact. As you can see here, I generally practice in my simulator, but it works great on the range as well. I'm going to leave a link below to learn more about the HackMotion, and I'll also drop a discount code down there so you can get the lowest price on it. If you're looking to build consistency and distance, I don't think there's anything better out there.
All right, so next hole here, par 5. I'm going to go 4-iron. Let's see if we can get there in 2. Wind, more of a crosswind. I was hoping it was a little bit behind us, but you know, if we can get some good distance out of this one, maybe we've got a chance of getting home at 2. This probably plays about 450 from this tee box where we're at. Oh, I caught that thin. On a decent line, it's probably gonna find the rough, but we're not gonna get home in 2 from there. That's gonna be the big difference with a club like this. This is gonna be a club for a better ball striker. A muscle back iron is not gonna be nearly as forgiving as something like the Hogan Legends. If you need a little bit more forgiveness, and if you're in that 15 to 5 range, those players distance irons with the hollow body to them is gonna be the forgiving option. This is really gonna be for your better, more elite ball strikers. But these irons are also gonna have some characteristics that really set them apart, and the scratch golfers out there absolutely are gonna love. Let me show you that. One of those is gonna be workability. Knowing that I can't get home in 2, we're just gonna lay up here. I'm gonna pull out the 6-iron. And the shot I wanna hit here is gonna be more of a left to right mover. I wanna hit a fade. I assume I'm gonna get a lot of left to right swing, so I'm actually gonna aim out here into the trees, and hopefully this cuts right back. That's perfect. We're gonna be in position here now for our 3rd shot. So yeah, having that thinner sole cuts through the turf so nice, having that muscle back shape and that thin blade, ultimate workability out of these, no doubt. All right, so hopefully I've done my math right, because again, I've only got a pitching wedge here in the set I have. 130 is the number. It should be perfect for this pitching wedge. And now we're gonna be able to see out of the fairway what this one's gonna do spin-wise. Good strike, just slightly right of the flag. It should spin left, it did. Woo! This is one of the best birdie putts I've had in a very long time out here. Again, I wanna look at the pitch mark. Yeah, we hit right in here. This one, again, took that one hop and then just yanked left, which was perfect. Oh man, I've got like 8 feet here, maybe less. Stay up. Yes, sir! Yes, sir! All right, 1 under is the number so far, so good. We got some challenging holes to play though, including this next one, which is a dogleg right par 4. Then the second shot's gonna be over a lot of hazards. We got a lot of water and sand to deal with. See if we can keep it going. Again, making good contact is the key with these clubs. And if you can do that, you'll get rewarded, as you just saw. Now, one thing I'm hoping I can really test out is that progressive center of mass that I talked about in the intro. So again, we're gonna take the 4-iron. Let's see what we can do. If I can catch one in the middle, we'll see if we can get the right height out of this 4-iron. And that was it. That is nice peak height. Of course, I teed it up and I hit it in the middle of the club face, but definitely the trajectory was pretty piercing there. and we're in a great shape here to attack. All right, 210 is the number that I hit that 4-iron, which again, now that we're in a little flatter, it's more of a crosswind, we don't have the wind behind us. Excellent distance, really. And you're gonna get a few more yards, squeak out a few more yards when you can get that peak height like we just saw. So let's see what we've got into this flag here. I really am in just perfect shape. Flag looks like it's middle of the green. I've got 143. And now that I feel it, the wind may actually be into us. So that just says how good these irons are. We even got more than I needed out of them. I'm kind of in between a 7 and an 8 iron, but I think I'm gonna go 8. Caught it pretty good. I don't think we're gonna hit the green though. It's just started a little right and stayed right and actually just hit the top of the hill and bounced into the bunker. Again, I just missed it. You probably saw I didn't take much of a divot there. And I hit that just ever so slightly low and shallow on the club face. So you gotta strike them in the middle for these to perform. I do think there's forgiveness distance-wise because I did hit that basically what I expected to hit into this wind. But even missing them by a hair, that's what happened. So we're gonna have to get up and down here to save par from the bunker. Oh, that's an A+ though. If you've been watching the channel, the short game has been the part of my game that's really letting me down. So I love something like that to build the confidence. I gotta get the confidence back. We're heading to the par 3. 131's the number. Maybe a slightly helping wind. The wind is really all over the place today. Again, I think being a more narrow green, especially on the left side where this pin is cut, I'm better off kind of erring on the short side. That's a really good line. And again, just exceptional interaction once it hits the green. Just getting so much spin out of these. I love it, love it. All right, the leave was absolutely perfect. We're below the hole. I've got 15 feet here for birdie. Oh! That's our par. We're still 1 under. Now we're heading to really the hole that's been the thorn in my side for about 6 months. It's a par 5, the 8th hole here on the meadow course that I'm playing, but again, our 5th hole here for the video. It's a big dog leg left. It's really a 3-shot hole, so we have to be smart in terms of our distance and our position. Again, I think that's where a club like this really excels. I once played with a PGA professional down in South America. And I know I've told this story on the show, and if you've watched the show, you know the story, but if you haven't and you're new, what happened was we were standing on like the 3rd tee box. I was playing a match against him. He was giving me like 4 strokes. He still ended up beating me, by the way. But he says, "Gabe, where are you aimed?" And I said, "Well, I'd like to be like right side of the fairway." He says, "You know where I'm aiming? Do you see that line that they mowed?" And it was a nice, beautiful stripe show out there like it is here today where you can see the lines in the fairway. He said, "The 3rd line over from the right, that's where I want to hit it." And if you know, a mower is about 36 inches wide in terms of blade length. And he said, "The reason I want to hit that particular line is because the grass is mowed where the ball is going to kick forward. It will actually kind of get hung up on the line coming backwards." And I'll be darned if he did not hit that exact spot. Blew me away. They always say aim small, miss small. It was on full display there. These are the type of irons, a muscle back iron like this, where you can do that sort of thing and really start to get precise about your golf game. People ask me like, you know, should I go for the most forgiving club or should I go for a club that challenges me? And I'd say there is an argument to be made for a club that challenges you like this one. If you're in the 10 handicap range and you really want to work on your ball striking, having a muscle back iron is going to make you a better ball striker, or else you're just not going to play good golf out there. Whereas this club I really do think is meant for probably the 4 handicaps and down. If you really want to challenge yourself and get better at golf, it may be something you want to consider. Let's see if we can hit a good shot here. Again, this has been my Achilles heel this hole. We're gonna go 4-iron because I want to get some good distance and carry a bunker there on the left. We need to cover that one if we're gonna get in position. Well, I really took that one in and I forgot again just how workable these clubs are. So we actually caught the trees. You can turn them over very easily with these clubs. So we'll have a challenging shot to get us back into position, but we can do that. It's gonna be a 3-shot hole one way or the other, as I mentioned. So we're gonna get a taste of how you can escape trouble with a club like this. And this is again another part where these better players' irons really excel. That's what the pros do so well. They get out of the difficult situations, the impossible shots they pull off somehow. And again, you have to have a very precise club in order to do that. Let's see if we can. All right, you can probably hear the generator because we're almost in someone's backyard, but I'm barely in bounds. I'm gonna hit a 4-iron, I've got to keep it low, and I've got a little lane to get through. The problem is I got to get past a tree to get back into the fairway, so I need to hit it a little little harder, but I still gotta keep it really low. It's gonna be difficult. I'm gonna play this right in the back of my stance and kind of shut the face. Hopefully it doesn't hook too much either. There's a lot working against me on this shot, including hopefully not hitting that tree on the backswing. See if I can pull it off. Nope. I didn't. Trajectory-wise, perfect. Direction-wise, I did not get that. Okay, well, we're now in the bunker here. I'm on an upslope. I don't think I can go 4-iron though. I'm gonna have to advance it. Probably a 6-iron. I gotta get it up over that lip. So we're gonna go 6-iron. See if we can make a tough par here. All right. We've advanced it pretty good. You're still on the left side. So we're on an adventure. This hole never ceases to be the thorn in my side. I've got 163. I've got to hit a really good shot here. And that wind is kind of swirling. 8-iron is probably the club, but I've got to hit all of it because I've got to get up over that bunker. It's a pretty good strike. Is it going to carry the bunker? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Let's see if I can work a little magic again with the bunker because I did come up short. We're hitting 5. Again, bogey would be, at this point, my target score for this hole. And one of these days I'm gonna conquer it, but it's not today, that's for sure. Sit, sit, sit. Not my best. Putting for bogey. Over under is not as secure as it once was, but I'll feel a lot better if somehow I can get this one to go in. Come on, reach. Oh, I just had to hit it. So we're right on the number. We're 1 over all of a sudden. We need a par if we're gonna hit the over under. After I hit my drive here though, I'm gonna rank these clubs for you. All right, last couple of swings here. I've enjoyed using these clubs. That pin is tucked in a very difficult spot to get at, but I wanna be left side of the fairway for sure. There's no stripes, unfortunately, to aim at, but I've got a window. I'm gonna aim for the middle window. There's 2. I'll aim for the one on the right. That's my line. Let's see if we can execute. Oh, it was aimed at the window, but I've overcooked it a little. But we're on that left side. Again, aim small, miss small. All right, it's time to rank these ones. This is gonna be a difficult one for me. In terms of distance, you know, we've hit irons this year that are game improvement irons that 4 irons traveled 241, I think is our top. You're not gonna be there with this traditional set of irons and these lofts. But for what they are, I think very long, honestly, for a muscle back club where you're not getting any help, at least out of the loft structure. You are getting help though with that weighting. I'm gonna give it a solid 4 out of 5. For a player's iron, I think it does excellent in the distance department. In terms of forgiveness, again, not the most forgiving club I've ever played, but this is not a club for people that need forgiveness. This is a club for the better ball strikers. If we're talking about a blade, this is at the higher end of the spectrum for sure. And if we're talking about, you know, a super forgiving iron, you know, this is going to be towards the lower end. One thing that this does really well, which I mentioned, is on my less than perfect contact, which happens often, I still got good distance out of the club. It's not going to forgive direction as much, but distance-wise, it did good. All in all, I'm going to give it again a 4 out of 5. I think this did really well in the forgiveness department. If we talk about workability, well, that's an easy one. You've seen me overwork the ball here on that last hole, and you know, when I try to hit fades with this club, I can hit fades, I can hit draws, I can flight it lower or higher. It does excellent. It's easily a 5 out of 5. When it comes to aesthetics, looks, feel, and sound, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. It's got really great feel. There's probably a couple clubs that maybe beat it in the feel department. There's not many out there when you hit it in the middle of the club face. Sound-wise, really excellent as well. And then looking down at it, it does not look forgiving, but it does look pure for sure. So 4.5 out of 5 for me in the aesthetics department. And our last category is going to be value. Now, this set of irons is around the $800 mark. There's very few blades out on the market at that price point. Certainly there's a couple that might be a little bit lower, but I don't think you're still gonna get the same quality. So for value, I'm gonna give this a 4.5 out of 5 as well. So a very nice score here for these Hogan irons. I think they've done a great job with the technology. Is really interesting. And I love that they're pushing boundaries with what they're doing. I played some good golf out here, but in order to hit our over under, I've got to hit a good shot. This is a difficult shot. The number is 155. This swirling wind seems to be into me a little bit. You know, the safe shot is a 7-iron, but I don't necessarily want to be at the back of the green either. It's again one of those narrow greens. But I think I could try to fade a 7-iron in. That'll take a little distance off. I think that is probably going to be the play. And I haven't hit the 7-iron. I always try to hit all the clubs in the bag. I think I could probably get there with an 8, but what the heck. Let's see if we can work it in there with this 7-iron and finish strong. We're getting a fade. See if we got the distance right. Oh, right on the fringe. Tell you what, in terms of a miss, that's a good one. I'll take that. 2 putts and we've got our over under. And this one has been a lot of fun for me. I hope it's been fun for you. I hope if you enjoyed this video, you'll just help me by hitting the like button. I can't tell you, just by hitting that little thumbs up button, it really, really helps more people see this video. And I'm trying to help as many of the mere mortals out there as I possibly can. So hit that like button, it's gonna help me. Oh, come on. Didn't give it enough break. Oh. The drama builds. 8 feet to do it. If you watch my putter videos, you know this is a critical distance. I always say it's the make or break number. But that isn't just any putter, that's the mere mortal putter. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.